This is our first class in the Options to Anger course that is going to add a new skill to your toolbox that you may have heard from or heard about already or might already use sometimes, but this is the first new one to the class. Now, people can only do things that they know how to do. I don't know how to fly an airplane, so to expect me to do that would be kind of ridiculous. Doesn't mean I don't know, I couldn't learn how to do it, but at the moment I would struggle. So, what are some things that people that get angry do? They do things they know how to do. So, some people handle anger by running away. Maybe running away from home or leaving school or quitting their job. Probably everybody knows how to yell. So yelling when they're upset and when they're starting to get angry. Cussing. A lot of people do that when they're upset with someone. They cuss at them. Use some 4-letter words and some other colorful metaphors. Negative self-talk. Might not know what that is, but you might know how to do it. So it's basically saying things in your head that are going to allow you to become more upset. Like, I want to hurt this person, or I can't believe they did this, or something like that. Punching, so hurting other people, hurting a wall, hurting your own hand by punching something. These are things that can lead to some serious consequences. But it's a way to handle anger. And shutting down. Some people shut down when they get angry and they don't want to talk to anyone or do anything. So these are called antisocial skills because they often lead to trouble. But this is what people know how to do. And they'll do what they know how to do. So we want to add another skill to our toolbox today. And that's called I statements. And you might have heard of them before, but I'm going to break it down to its simplest form so that we'll all be able to do them by the time this class is over. So, how do you do an I statement? Well, the focus of an I statement is I, or yourself. So you want to make sure that you are not adding you into your I statement. Or anything like you. For example, people, other kids, you, any other things like that. So to build your I statement, you want to start out with I feel. And then you're going to use a feeling that you have. So you might refer back to our class when we talked about the different emotions and feelings that people have in their early warning signs. Embarrassed, worried, scared, tricked, helpless, annoyed, guilt, all these and more that you may have come up with on your own. I feel when. This is where you put what happened. What is it that allowed you to feel that way? And then because. Why is it that caused you to feel that way or invited you to feel that way? And then I wish. What do you wish would happen maybe in the future or next time, or what would you wish would have happened that time? So let's take a look at our previous example with the camping and cooking. So if you recall, one of my friends knocked my food into the fire and I didn't like that. So let's see if we can come up with a good I feel statement for that situation. Now I've got one right here that would probably work pretty well. I feel frustrated when my food is knocked into the fire. Now you'll notice I didn't say anything like when you knocked my food into the fire or anything blaming there. I'm just saying what it is that happened. because I'm hungry and wanted to eat it. I wish my food was left alone, because if my food was left alone, it wouldn't be in the fire. It would still be on my little stick here that would be cooking it. So, now you notice I didn't say any U's in there, because sometimes when you say a U, you're going to cause the person you're talking to try to tune you out, because people, when they start getting blamed for something, they don't want to hear it anymore. I don't know why people do that, but that's what happens. So if you want to be able to tell someone how you feel and have them listen to you, don't say you. So in our anger cycle, we got our cruising along, we got our invitation, and then we got some warning signs here. So when we recognize these warning signs, that's when we're going to apply the I statement right in here. So I'm going to recognize a feeling, and I'm going to use that for my I statement. So I can say, I feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Now you'll notice it's before anger. So these I statements are going to help you divert some of your anger away from that point. Let's try this with another scenario. Let's say this girl here is at school and they're taking a test, and this person here is trying to copy off of her, and maybe she says something like, hey, don't copy me. And the teacher is seeing this happen and thinks that they're both cheating. After they're done with the test, the teacher tells the girl, you cheated, and doesn't give her a good grade on the test because of it. How might this girl feel? What might she say or do? Well, one thing she might do is go through the anger cycle quickly and feel frustrated, scared about her grades being bad. Maybe she's starting to feel hot. Maybe feels the pressure building up and gets angry and maybe says something like this: screw you, you're the dumbest teacher in this school. Now that's not going to help her with her grade, and it might cause some consequences that she might not like. She's probably still going to get that F on the test. So let's think of an I statement that might be better for her to use. First, we have to think about how she might be feeling. Well, if she wasn't cheating, she might feel a little confused as to why she's being accused of cheating. She might also feel a little bit scared or hopeless regarding her bad grade. So here's one that would be good for her. I feel confused and hopeless, just stating how she feels, when I'm told that I cheated. Because she doesn't feel like she cheated, now she's being told, that's confusing for her. She's just saying what happened. She's not saying when you call me a cheater. She's just saying when I'm told that I cheated. Because I worked hard to do well. So she feels like she did a good job on this thing, and she should be recognized for that. And so what does she wish would happen? I wish I would get credit and respect for my efforts. So obviously she doesn't want to fail the test because of a misunderstanding there. So this isn't guaranteed to make this change, but it's going to allow the teacher to listen, and it's not going to turn into this situation where they shut down and don't want to hear it. So I feel confused when I'm told I'm cheated because I worked hard. I wish I would get credit and respect for my efforts. So that would be a good I statement for this situation. Let's try another one. I don't have as many drawings for this one. It's just a scenario. So, why can't you be more like your sister? Maybe this is a teacher saying that to a student. Maybe this is a parent saying that to their son or daughter. But it's an invitation to that person. So pause the video and try to think of a good I statement that you would use for this situation. All right, let's take a look at it. So let's take a look at this one first. I feel rejected when you compare me to my sister because you don't like who I am. I wish you would stop being so mean. All right, so we followed the pattern here. We have I feel, when, because, I wish. But what's wrong with this one? Okay, I feel rejected. That's good. That's a normal way to feel when someone is comparing you to someone else and wanting you to be like that. So that part of the statement's perfect. Now here's where we have a problem. We got a you here. That's going to cause us a little trouble. When you compare me to my sister. So right here, we're starting to end up with this situation where we might shut down the other person. And again here, because you don't like who I am, we're blaming that other person again. And we might feel like it is them, but we aren't going to blame them because we're just doing an I feel statement. So we're talking about how we feel and why. I wish you would stop being so mean. So again, putting it back on the other person, and we want to focus on ourselves. So let's try another one. I hope yours was better than that one. How about this? I feel rejected, starting out the same way. When I am compared to my sister, which is what's happening, right? That's just what's happening. It's not blaming anything on anybody. I feel rejected when I am compared to my sister because I'm doing the best I can. So they feel like they're doing the best they can, and that being compared to their sister is not helping. I wish I was not compared to my sister in a negative way, saying that maybe the sister's better or in some ways is kind of a negative way to look at this person. It does not make them feel good, obviously. It makes them feel rejected. But you'll notice, no yous, no people, no anything like that. The only person we're talking about is how I feel. So it mentions the sister here, but that's not a blaming mention. It's just that was the subject of what was going on. So it's okay to say something like that. So if you find this being a little cumbersome or hard to do, remember all these different things, you can do something called a modified I statement. A modified I statement is a way to shorten it and make it seem a little more natural to you. So this would be maybe an example of a modified I statement for this situation. Why can't you be more like your sister? I feel rejected when I'm compared to my sister in a negative way. It's a lot shorter, it's a little easier to say, and it kind of covers the basics of what this longer one does, but in a shorter, maybe easier to say way. We got the feeling, and we got the kind of the why and the I wish in here, and the because in the same little sentence. So that's one thing you can do with your I statements is modify them. The important thing is that you're not adding this you in there, because that's going to sabotage your I statement. Okay, so we got our toolbox, and we got our I statements in there now. Give these a try. Try them at home or school, wherever you might be. If you have an invitation that you think an I statement might help with, give it a shot. Write it down. How did it go? Were you able to do the I statement without saying you? Did it help your situation? Did you feel better? Did you feel like you got to express how you felt? That's what I statements are all about.